Well, good morning, class. I'm gonna show you my course. This is based on English for medical purposes. I don't know if Alexis has already presented by now, but my course is very similar to his because we did it together on the previous semester. So let me show you each of the activities. First, what I have here is the only post I have in my course is the welcoming letter, and it is here. Here I introduce myself, as some of you have done. Then I talk about the course, more or less the dates that it will take place, how to access the platform, the links. Mm, I provided here like a short tutorial on how to use Schoology here, and the contact. Here, there's my email so that students can send me a message or anything in any case that they have problems. And also my phone number is here. Now, if we go back to the course, these are the content. This is the content, sorry, of my EMP course. I have the syllabus here, then each of the classes with the topics that are going to be seen in each of them. First class was about hospital departments. Second class, human bones. Third class, human muscles. Fourth class, respiratory system. Fifth class, the digestive system. Then I have another syllabus. It's basically the same. I just modified some things from the previous one. Then I have the sixth class, which is the circulatory system. Seventh class, male reproductive system. Eighth class, the female reproductive system. The ninth class, the urinary system. And the 10th class, the nervous system. I also provided the students with the course glossary. And well, let me take you one by one. So for the first activity, for the first class, which was about hospital departments, to be honest, it's a very simple activity, and uh, I had kind of lost track of what ESP meant. So I just provided the students with a word search. Mm, well, it's this one. And all that they had to do was to find the hospital department. Yeah, so very challenging activity. And that's it for the first class. As I told you, at this point I didn't have much of an idea. I know we had seen it in the previous semester, but I kind of forgot during vacation. I hope that doesn't happen to me anymore. So they had to find the names, and then they had some definitions here, which they had to match with the corresponding department. As you can see here, yeah, we have the definitions. For example, this department lets doctors look inside their body for clues about a medical condition, and they have to decide if it's oncology, pharmacy, ophthalmology, diagnostic imaging, etc., etc. Then for the second class, we had human bones. And in this activity, I tried to elaborate a little bit more, but still it's not one of the best activities that I have in the course. And it's also not one of my favorites from the ones I did. Here I provided the students. This is basically the format that I used for the following classes. It was to upload a document with instructions and then explain in that document what they were supposed to do with each of the links or the resources provided in the course. So as I told you, this is the format of the instructions. Almost all of the classes have this document. Here I have the title of the topic, sorry, that we are going to see. Then the requirements, for example, my skeleton anatomy, the app. Then the getting started, like it is suggested to identify the following bones with the help of this app. That I provided a picture of the app. Then like the layout of the same app, and a little bit of how to use it. And I also included a little follow-up, like after identifying the bones, blah, 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 blah. And take a look at this folder, and you may start doing the activities. And good luck, as always, motivating the students. Then for the same class, we have activity number 1, and this is to be done, sorry, in EducaPlay. This is a resource that I found really useful, and actually I used it quite a lot during the implementation of this course. In this one, for example, which is about human bones, you click here in Comenzar, and I provided the students with pictures of bones that they previously identified with the help of the app, and the definition. Yeah, so they click on a definition, and one of the pictures, for example this one, and I don't have it correct, but for example this one, and now I have it correct. So after matching them correctly, they get points, and depending on the time and the points, they will get like a better score or rank. So I use this quite a lot, but because I really liked it. I'm gonna try to go a little bit faster. Here, for example, I have the third class, the human muscles. I have, as I told you, the document with the instructions, then a link with 3 different types of muscles, activity number 1 and activity number 2. This activity is similar to the one with the bones. There's a format with instructions. It's about muscles, they're getting started, like which activity they can, which application they can use for this activity, and a little bit of like tutorial, and the good luck. Now in this one I started like not becoming better, but like the lessons were better structured in a way. The format of the instructions, an example of picture chart. In this one, if I remember correctly, I asked students to create an infographic explaining one of the systems. Yes, in this case, for example, I explained the respiratory system. I provided them with a link, a YouTube link, in which they explain how it works and the parts of the respiratory system. Then I gave them some definitions, and I provided a picture chart, which is what they were asked to do. Yeah, sorry, Schoology was taking a lot to load. So this is the infographic that I provided them as an example. And sorry, I didn't choose the respiratory system. That is the one that they were supposed to do. I provided an example of the digestive system. I didn't do this infographic, but it was an example for them. Probably it was too complex, but as you can see, you have the organs, like each of the parts defined, and more or less how it works. Yeah, so this was just to give my students an idea of what they were supposed to do. For the fifth class, which is about the digestive system, I provided all of this. And if we click on the instructions, this is more or less what it looks like. And here I provided instructions for all of the activities in a way. For example, 3 different activities. In the first one, click on activity number 1, and it's out again, EducaPlay. They were supposed to match the word in English, but this time with Spanish. Then in the second one, they downloaded a picture. This is the picture. This is a picture, so they had to write the name of each of the components of the digestive system, and then they were supposed to upload the picture again, but with the answers. And finally, they were going to answer another EducaPlay activity, but matching, where is it? The picture and the function. And if they needed help, they had more reference. For the sixth class, it's about the circulatory system. I provided all of this, the instructions as always, then some examples of infographics again, and a link. One of the links is how the circulatory system works, and then the diseases of the circulatory system. Then I provided the instructions. Well, I forgot to change the name apparently. This is circulatory system, remember. And well, I give them what they had to do. They are supposed to watch the videos, and then in the first activity, they are going to write what they know about some components of the circulatory system. If they don't know, then they can wait, watch the video, and then complete the activity. They are completely allowed to do so. Then in the instructions, the professor mentioned that I should reflect who I really am, like super relaxed and super, like, well, you know me, guys. So I have here, for example, up to this point, we have done this and this and this. If you feel tired, you can listen to a really cool song, etc., etc. And then after the song, now that everybody's fresh, let's do this, blah, 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 blah. They were supposed to create an infographic in which they explained one of the circulatory system diseases. That's why I provided the examples, which they are completely allowed to take a look at. And, well, as always, the good luck sign. Now, for the seventh class, it's about the male reproductive system. I provided them a link with the parts and functions of the system, well, two different links. Then we have a matching activity in EducaPlay, again. And for this activity, they are supposed to use Edpuzzle. Let's see what this is about. As you can see, I didn't upload the format of the instructions anymore. And the professor recommended me that it was better to do it this way, like a post. So here are the instructions. They are supposed to watch the videos, do the matching activity, and then I provided, I don't know if you could see it here, I provided them a tutorial on how to use Edpuzzle, an example of the product, and that's it for this activity. Now for the 8th class, it's the female reproductive system. It's very similar to the previous one. I provided them a link with the parts of the female reproductive system and the female reproductive system explained. If we take a look at the instructions, again, the language is more like friendly, less formal. And for example, here they are very simplified and have beautiful drawings. Yes, then I asked them again to do a matching activity to see what they remember from the video. And for the last activity, they were supposed to use Edpuzzle again to explain the female reproductive system. I have here not an apology, but like a justification of the activity. One cannot be taught without the other. And I provided them, again, a song related to these topics. Supposedly, the name of the song is... it's Trojans, so it's very related. You know why? Yeah. So I tried to be funny. I don't know if that's okay or not, but I did. And finally, we get to the 9th class. Oh, 9th class. Never mind. So we get to the 9th class, which is the urinary system. I provided them, as always, the instructions, some flashcards activity, a memory game, and a picture. Yes. And an example of a PowerPoint presentation. Why? Because if we take a look at the instructions, well, here are the instructions, and the first activity or the first task is the flashcards activity in order to get familiar with some vocabulary. Then they were supposed to create a graphic organizer in which they classified said vocabulary into different categories, and they have to decide the categories, but provide the reasoning. And then they have a concentration activity or a memory game just to recall the vocabulary. And finally, they were supposed to create a PowerPoint presentation to indicate the parts of the system and its function. And another joke, take care of your own urinary system and take your time. Do not stop going to the bathroom in order to finish. So this is an example of the PowerPoint presentation that I expected from my students. We have some of the components of this system. Then each of the components like defined or explained and with some pictures, etc., etc. And finally, we have the 10th class, the nervous system. And I provided a link, a YouTube link, in which they explain. And let's check the instructions. Very simple instructions. As I told you, watch the video nervous system, and after that they get to work on the activities that were uploaded. First, they have a labeling activity. They have to indicate the right part of the brain. Let me show the activity to you. As I told you, this is a very simple activity and very friendly with the drawing. So they have just these four words, and they have to write the name of each where it corresponds. Then for the second activity, this is not as simple as the previous one. They have some concepts, sorry, and the definition. So they have to match it because this one is quite a lot. I asked them to print it, then scan it, and then upload it again with the answers, of course. And for the last activity, this one is easy again. Number four, ignore this, please. I don't know why it happened. But the instructions are they are to indicate whether the following parts, this one, of the nervous systems are part of the central nervous system, CNS, or the peripheral nervous system, PNS. Yes, so they just have to write uh, the corresponding parts of the nervous system, and then they have to color the three major parts of the brain. Here I indicate the colors. The cerebellum is going to be in blue, the cerebrum is going to be in red, etc. And they just have to color it. And that will be it for my course. I hope this wasn't so boring. So thank you.